So the brand new update War Tycoon just added the Merkava MK3B, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at how good this thing actually is when it comes to overall damage and its actual uses in the meta. So this is basically going to be a damage stats video. But anyway, before we start, I'd like to quickly walk you guys through this thing's base stats. At stock level, it's going to be having a health of 2150, and when you max it out, it's going to be adding extra 645 HP, and its base speed is going to be 40, and when you max it out, it's going to be adding 12. Now, its cannon is going to be having a reload speed of 7 seconds, an overheat count of 1, fire rate of 18. I don't even know what these two really mean. The fire rate, just such a weird stat on a cannon that only has 1 bullet. But warrior guided missile is going to be having a reload time of 20 seconds. The 60mm mortar is going to be having a reload time of 8 seconds. The 3 machine guns are going to be having a reload time of 5. The overheat count is going to be 85, and the fire rate is going to be 380. This thing is also armed with a smoke screen and a mobile armory, and it's going to be costing you 11 parts to actually spawn this in. So first, I'm taking a look at this thing's cannon, which I have to say is really just average against air vehicles. It's not going to be able to one-shot a Su-25 or a F-35B. Those are the higher end of health vehicles. However, it will be able to one-shot the Super Hind with absolutely no issue. Now, when we take a look at its damage against ground vehicles, on average, the tank cannon, I'd say, is going to be pretty damn good. It's roughly going to be able to do around 1/3 of the vehicle's health, and the kind of the same results can also be seen against the Tu-55, which basically has kind of like a average amount of health for a tank. But now let's go ahead and also take a look at this thing's guided missile, which surprisingly enough, for one, is not even going to be close to one-shotting the Su-25, and most importantly, it cannot even one-shot the Mi-24 Super Hind. That is pretty interesting, to be honest with you guys. I think that's one of the only guided missiles that actually can't do this in this game. But also taking a look at its damage against the ground vehicles and tanks, and it seems to just basically replicate the damage of the tank cannon itself. So what this vehicle basically has is kinda a double cannon in a way. Kinda like the Moderna, the Leopard 2 ARC. Also taking a look at the damage of the mortar itself, which I actually kinda like. It's once again just another copy and paste almost of the damage of the previous 2 weapons against tanks and ground vehicles. But then again, the thing that makes this vehicle so interesting is if you land all 3 of your shots, which are differently aimed, you're able to basically destroy really any tank or ground vehicle in the game, which I think is definitely quite impressive. Now, when we take a look at the damage of the machine gun against air vehicles, I'd say it's going to be pretty good. The overall DPS is definitely on the higher end of tanks. It's going to be able to destroy a Super Hind, but not a Su-25. And now when we take a look at its damage against the Striker and also the Tu-55, roughly you'll be able to do around 50% of the vehicle's health by the end. So essentially what this vehicle has is 3 cannons worth of damage plus a machine gun which can mow down half of your health, which means you don't even have to use one of them. So in my eyes, this vehicle is definitely pretty damn good. The thing that in my opinion doesn't make it really worth it is, for one, it does struggle against air vehicles in particular in my opinion, because the warrior guided missile doesn't actually one-shot everything, which is kind of weird to be honest with you. But another thing which I want to go over is that its weaponry is incredibly skilled, because every single weapon that you basically have to fire, you're basically using a different aiming mode. For the cannon, you aim straight. With the guided missile, you gotta aim your shots and drag towards where the target is, and then the mortar, you have a completely different way of aiming. So you really have to be good with this vehicle. It also doesn't have APS. I'd say it's definitely like an A-tier tank, but is it worth spending 1000 Robux on it? I don't think so. It's a good vehicle, but nothing more, nothing less. I'll see you guys in the next video. Do let me know what you think about this vehicle. I'm currently giving it away. The link to the server is in the description.